So if you were going on a long road trip, a car trip, vacation sort of thing, what would you do to get ready for that? Make a playlist. All right. Buy Twizzlers. All right. Make some sandwiches. Get gas. Right? Because we can't go where we need to go if we don't have enough gas in the tank. Right? So that's something that we would do. We would put gas in the tank. Has anybody, like me, run out of gas? All right. So to be fair, if you have a few more miles on your tires like I do, it used to be a lot easier to run out of gas. Because unlike the digital gauges we have now that tell you how many gallons you have and how many miles you have left, you had to guess about that fuel capacity in your car because you had an unreliable analog gauge in your car that would sort of say, you got about this much. And then eventually it would say, you got about that much. And then you knew you're going to have to find a gas station. And back then, gas stations weren't every, 3 or 4 miles, and they weren't open 24 hours, so you really had to plan for that fuel capacity. It's embarrassing to sit on the side of the road because you ran out of gas. You know what's worse? Running out of gas in your boat. Yeah. So our family vacations don't happen in a car. They happen in a boat that we take across the Lake Michigan from the Wisconsin side to the Michigan side. That's a 10 to 17 hour trip. It's far. And, there are not a lot of places to fuel up, even once we get over there. You have to really pay attention to that fuel capacity. So we, on our sailboat, who is a mature lady, have that same kind of analog gauge for our fuel. So we got very good at paying attention to how much fuel came on and how many engine hours we had and how far along the way we were going to have to stop and fuel up again. We had to pay attention to that fuel capacity. And we're good at it until one day we're going along. We knew that it was getting towards that point where we were going to have to stop and fill up. And we were about 7 miles, which is about an hour for us, away from where we would do that, when all of a sudden the engine went, oh, that is not a good feeling. And we knew because she's a mature lady and it's diesel fuel, there's probably some gunk down in there that would get sucked up into the fuel filter. And that's probably what happened. My husband went down, tried to change the fuel filter. No luck. So we indeed had to call the towboat of shame. Worse, it was 4th of July, and the entire marina was full to see us in our discredit to come in. Fortunately, filled right back up again, fired right up, and we were able to keep going. But, we did not want to have that happen to us again. But it did. Still in that area where we thought we had plenty of fuel, and we had cleaned out the tank. We didn't think there was any junk in there, but obviously there's something wrong. So we're going to take this seriously this time. We got a brand new digital gauge that we could calibrate by 3-gallon increments. We cleaned out that tank. We got 36 gallons of fresh diesel fuel, and we put it in at 3-gallon increments. 36 gallons. That's what our tank says. That's what our manual says. Do you know how much gas, fuel, our tank holds? 30. 30 gallons, which means that we overestimated our capacity by 20%. No wonder we ran out of fuel, right? Ooh, have you ever overestimated your capacity? In life, in work? It's something I call capacity optimism. The belief that we can get so much more done in the time and energy and conditions that we have. The problem is we have unreliable gauges. We don't have a light that comes on and goes, you are almost out of fuel. What we have are signals that our body sends. little upset tummy, that not sleeping at night. Those are signals that it is time to do something about your fuel capacity because you're about to run out. But what do we do most of the time? White knuckle it. It'll be all right. I can get through this. This tummy stuff will go away when I get the project done. It'll be fine. And that probably works for a while. But we all know eventually you're running on fumes and something is going to go wrong. Being aware of what those signals are is a big part of being able to manage your capacity well. And here's the thing. If you're taking that road trip and you're driving down the road and you pull in to fill up your gas tank, do you feel guilty about it? No, of course not. We don't take it as a personal failure that we have to pull in and fill up our tank. But why are we so judgmental with ourselves about doing the things that would actually allow us to decrease the stress in our lives, increase the capacity, and be able to do what we want to do? This is why I created a system so that we can recognize those signals earlier, interrupt the stress reaction that our body has naturally when we're faced with things more than we can handle, recover and decompress so we allow our bodies to let that stress go, bring our capacity back up again, and then re-enter in a way that we make a decision about how much we're going to accept back in. That is what we're going to do today. Learn a system to do all that, because that, my friends, is resilience. It's managing your capacity. Are you ready? Let's do that.